What's up, guys? Joseph here, and today we're going to give you a little bit of a different type of video, so I hope you're not too mad. But as of today, Boku no Hero Academia's anime has finally came out, and as you could probably see in the background, as I set up before I turned on my camera, because I don't always have it like this, just so you know, I am kind of a big fan of the series. So for the next 13 weeks, which is the series' actual runtime, I am going to do a kind of review of each episode to see if it stands up against the manga, if it holds its own in its own way, because, you know, some animes like to go completely different ways from the manga. But this is just overall my quick analysis of this series. And so, yeah, for the next 13 weeks, that's what we're going to focus on. Don't worry, though, writer's block and all that is unaffected by this. This is just kind of a little passion project I'm doing since I love the series so much. So I hope you guys stick around, and Frank, cue the opening. Okay, so like I said, I do love this series a lot, and I mean, I started reading it when it first came out, so of course when I heard about the anime coming out, I was very excited, like terribly excited, like in tears, crying, because for some reason I thought like my manga had gotten an adaptation. But why did I feel that way? Well, as most of you guys know, if you watch Writer's Block and you know kind of how like the character Joker plays, I kind of bash like shonen or anything like super generic in the anime space because, you know, there's no need for it. It's so like saturated already. But one thing about Boku no Hero that I love is that it reminds me of what made shonens good. Like when I was a kid and I would watch Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, and there was just this joy that I had. Like there was no, I didn't expect anything from it. I just sat there and kind of took it all in, and I just took it like that. I wasn't critiquing anything. It was just kind of me enjoying the series. I haven't felt that with a shonen since Boku no Hero, and that is attributed to a couple things. Number one, the writing is very easy to handle. It's not a deep plot by any means, but at the same time, there are some aspects that would suck you in, and there are some very good storytelling aspects. Number two is the art. Kohei, the actual mangaka who wrote it and drew it, has one of my favorite styles of all time. It's like if Disney made an anime. Everything's so rubbery, like you can kind of see the flesh. It's weird to say that, but the way he draws is so cartoony, but at the same time it has that anime feel to it. The movement is incredible that you could see through the pages. So another thing going into the anime was that going to translate well, which a lot of people beforehand didn't think so. I mean, Kohei has worked on a couple of other series before this, which are all good. One of note is Barrage, which I also have here. And even that, as you could see, I don't know if you can see, has the same kind of art style. Albeit a little bit, you know, it's a little bit earlier of his style before he got to this, but you know, it was there. So a lot of people didn't understand if it would translate well in the anime style. What I would like to say though is it did perfectly. So let's move on to the actual anime now that you kind of got an idea of where I stand with the manga. So Studio Bones is working on it, and it is being directed by, I believe his name is Nagasaki Kenji. I'll put his name, well, Frank will put his name, I don't fucking edit. Frank will put his name somewhere, and you guys can go look him up. He has done some great stuff. You know, I did some research on him beforehand to see how it would work, and yeah, he did some great stuff. Now, did the anime do its job? Well, short answer, yes. Yeah, completely. I mean, there are some shots in the anime that were stolen perfectly from the manga. I mean, angles that I have never seen before done in an anime because it seems so out of place that could only be done in a manga because it's panel to panel. But they pulled it off. Everything looks exactly like it did in the manga. It looks super, you know, crisp. I don't know. It was done really well. A lot of the times when a manga gets an anime adaptation, there has to be some type of style different. They have to change the style to a more simplistic one so animation costs don't boost up. Another one of my favorite anime is Akame ga Kill. Not anime, I'm sorry, manga. I love that manga. The anime, the style was a little bit, you know, cut down, I would say. But that was for budget reasons, of course, and I understand that. So I was thinking that that might happen with this anime as well. However, in the trailers, we obviously saw that that wasn't the case. It was very stylized, and so animation was perfect. Studio Bones and Kenji, you guys are killing it. The direction was perfect, which is why I said Kenji's killing it. Another thing I want to talk about is the soundtrack. Okay. I didn't think it would be anything special, but there were certain moments where, I mean, a song was playing and that was exactly how I imagined it. I don't know. Obviously, there's no way I produced a song in my head while I was reading the manga and someone stole it from me and put it in the anime. What I mean, though, is nothing felt out of place. Watching the anime felt exactly like reading the manga, if you get what I mean. Nothing was jarring to me. When All Might came on towards the end of the episode and his theme played, I couldn't imagine another theme for him. It was done well. I could be fanboying, but I will say that is true. I really did feel that way. Another thing I would like to note is the episode actually ended on a really weird note. I thought it would at least make it to where, okay, so a little bit of spoilers right here. So I'll put like a timestamp, or Frank will put a timestamp that you could skip to where I'm done talking about this little. It's a little thing. But even if you watch the previews, you would know. So Kachan, Bakugo, the dude with the explosion hands, he gets taken over by that slime, and that slime monster, that fluid monster we saw in the first episode, and Deku, the main character, Midoriyama, he actually goes to save him, even though he has no powers. And that's when All Might realizes that he is worthy to be a hero. I thought we would at least make it there, but we didn't. We only made it to Deku meeting All Might. So that was pretty weird, especially because it's only going to be a 13-episode series from what I hear, like I said earlier. So I don't know how far it's going to go. I mean, I have my ideas, but at the same time, it's just a little odd where it ended. One more complaint I have is that because it's 13 episodes, I don't exactly know where it's going. I don't know where it's headed. I have no clue. It could end it, or it could pull a One Punch Man and follow the manga completely and end it in a great place, ready and primed for season 2 to start. It's not up to me. I don't know how they're going to go about it. I have faith in everything they're doing. Kenji, again, directed the first episode perfectly, but that's not always, it doesn't always work. It's not always a good thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Akame got killed, like I said earlier, followed it 13 episodes in, and then blew that shit out of the water, went crazy with it, made some shit up. So I hope everything turns out fine with it, but if not, it's okay, because I get to see everything in motion. So my verdict for the first episode is, if you couldn't tell, I loved it. I mean, I woke up and immediately watched it. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Soundtrack is good. Animation is good. I'm hoping it gets a little bit better. There weren't a lot of action scenes. Not that the animation is bad. I just want to see it in movement more. There were a lot of still shots, which is, okay, because they have to do that to save money. But I would just like to see more in motion type stuff. So like I said, soundtrack, the opening and ending. Oh my god. Okay, so it reminds me, like I said earlier, of like the old days of watching anime. I mean, the ending is literally just Deku running. I mean, that's such a fucking shonen thing to do. But it's also feel good. You got Porno Graffiti, that's the name of the band. I'm not being fucking weird with you guys. Yeah, Porno Graffiti doing the opening, and god damn, it reminds me of like the first opening of the original Full Metal Alchemist, or Magi's second opening, or Bleach's like 11th or whatever. I don't remember, but everything was just done so well, and it's such a fun series. It's nothing deep by any means. There are lessons to be learned, but if you guys want, start watching it with me. I'm going to be putting this up every Sunday, this Boku no Hero quick analysis. So stay with me. Let's enjoy the ride together, and let's meet back here next week, guys. All right. I don't know why I did that. That was so gay. Peace, and I love you guys. See you next week. Or tomorrow. Writer's Block comes out tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, peace.